now the haters will be looking sideways. But Bunny, the money's that way.
What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Bonnie Boo, and I'm back with another one. What they do? They want to love on the woo, touch on the woo, who, all of that. Yeah. By the looks of the title, y'all know it's about to go down. It's about to go down. We finna do a story time of the day. Is y'all ready for the story time? Y'all ready to get into this? Y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Because I'm ready. So, boom, we finna jump straight into it. And me and my cousin were in middle school, right? And we had to walk to school. And it would really be hot in the AM. So the AMs were really hot. And we were kind of getting sick and tired of it. We were like, you know what? We are tired of these grown-ups trying to make us have to walk to school, not offering us a ride, not bringing us to school. And we didn't have a bus stop. So since we're like so close to the school, we had no choice but to be walkers. I guess we didn't want to be walkers. We wasn't having it. You know when you're just not having it no more? One day, I was just like, you know what? We don't have to take this. We don't have to do this no more. Walking every day in the hot AM, going to school, trying to do our best, and we don't want to do this no more. We got ready, put on our uniform, ready to go to school. So in the midst of that, we were literally right in front of the school, guys. I don't know what was like, don't go into school. The idea just clicked in my mind. The dead end sign was what clicked and was like, okay, boom, I got an idea for you. So I looked at my cousin. I was like, you don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to school anymore, right? I got an idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell them that we're not going to school anymore. We're going to let them know that, hey, we're sick. We're sick and we can't go to school anymore. We're seeing things. We're possessed. We're like seeing dead bodies. Like, it was that extreme to an extreme level, right? So we went home, and on our way walking back from the school, which we were literally right in front of, it was like, hey, we're not going in there. We started walking back and it was, okay, this is the plan. This is how we're going to be acting. This is what we got to do. So boom, we shake on it. This is our plan, right? So we get home and boom, we automatically have to start acting. We just told them that, hey, we're not going to school anymore because we're seeing things at the school. We're seeing things everywhere. We're seeing things even in this house. Like, we're just seeing things. We're not okay mentally. We're just not okay. And they were like, you know what? Okay. They were going along with it. So we're like, okay, cool. This is awesome, right? So they're going along with the story. We're just playing our part, acting like we're not okay, screaming a little here and there, like, oh, I just seen something over there, like, and just shaking, and just really our acting was on point to the fact that we didn't have to go to school, guys. We were school free. We didn't have to wake up in the AMs and be walking in the hot heat. Like, we didn't have to do none of that anymore, okay? So it got to the point where they were so concerned because our acting was so on point, right? They had to take us to the doctor, okay? The doctor, they did brain scans, and it was to the point they were like, okay, nothing is wrong. Like, everything looks fine. We don't know exactly what's going on. So we still, even after going to the doctors, and the doctors were like, oh, everything is good, everything is clear, we don't see anything, we were still able to play it off and not go to school, guys, right? So we just weren't going to school. We missed about, I want to say, at least 3 to 4 months of school, of not walking in the heat. That's how dedicated we were to, we're not going to school, we're not walking in that heat. Like, we were acting to the point where we deserve an Oscar. You know how the acting is so good? You deserve an Oscar, you deserve an Emmy. We deserved an Oscar because they all believed us and they wouldn't separate us. It was like, no, you can't separate us, it's gonna be really bad. So they didn't separate us. Like, we were together. Like, when they would go to work, we're just chilling, vibing, back to like our normal selves. Everything's good. And when they would come back, we would just get back to acting mode, acting like we're sick and like everything is wrong with us. So I know at one point they were like, are you guys like really okay? Like, can you guys explain to us what you're seeing? Like, just trying to get to more details of like what's going on. And we'll just explain to them like, yeah, we're just seeing dead people, they're talking to us, like we could speak back to them, we could see them, like just all that stuff. And they were just like, I guess maybe too flabbergasted to say anything or to do anything, but they just let everything go and like didn't question it too much. So it was like, okay, so we're off the hook. We can like just chill and not go to school for as long as we want, and they're gonna be okay with it. So we took full advantage of it. We was just like, we're not going to school no more. Like, we really probably thought we were never going to go back to school, because that's how long of a time we didn't go to school. So we were just acting. Our acting was on point, on cue. And then I think it got to a point where it was like they separated us and we both weren't going to school still. They did prayers for us. Like, they would do, family prayers, church prayers, just to kind of like whatever energy that, we're feeling, they're trying to get us out of that energy, So like they tried their best to just do whatever, but our acting was just like still on like keep acting, because we're not going to go walk. We're not going back in that damn heat. Damn it. That's y'all fault. Y'all should never let us be walking in that heat, because why y'all not offering us a ride in the AC? Y'all think we want to walk in this heat? We just ended up coming to an agreement, and we're like, okay, you know what? We didn't tell them that it was fake. Till this day, I don't even think they think it was fake. I still think that they think it was real. Let's just say our acting was on point. When I say the acting was on point, because we didn't go to school for, like I told you guys, a long time. We're behind, we're failing, and it got to a point they were like, okay, let's go get the schoolwork. Let's get the schoolwork, and you guys could just do the schoolwork from home. Our friends from school were like, hey, like, where are you guys? Is everything okay? Like, when are we coming back to school? And low key, like, we started kind of like wanting to go back to school, because like, oh, we miss our friends. Like, we want to actually go back. So we was like, you know what? Let's probably just call this like acting thing off. Like, let's call it off so we can go back to school, because I don't know if they were ever gonna be like, hey, are you guys lying? Are you guys telling the truth? Because they were just like, they fell for it. Like, we literally had them in the palm of our grasp, of our hands. Like, it was bad. We were some pretty little liars, okay? That's what it was giving. Like, so we ended up, telling them, hey, you know what? We want to go back to school. We think that, we're feeling better. We haven't seen anything anymore. And we feel like we're ready to, go back to school. And we ended up going back to school. Everything was just fine. Everything was normal. We pulled the acting gig off, and we just like, we still had to walk to school, which is the sad part. We still had to walk to school in the hot sun. So it's like, but we called the acting gig off. We went back to school, seen our friends, caught up with our classes, with our work that we were missing and everything like that. And guys, when we went back to school, we were loaded with work. There was a lot of loaded work that we had to do. Falling behind, but at the end of the day, still passed. I was like, what? Missed all these days of school. All this loaded work. Just because we want to walk in the hot sun. And we still passed. Y'all. I'm not telling you guys at home to go do this, because it's not a good idea. Don't do it, okay? I feel like we should have never did that. It was wrong. Misleading, because, what if we were really, in a situation to where we really needed their help? And I feel like I don't know. It wasn't good to like, bamboozle and trick them like that. It wasn't kind of cool. So I wouldn't advise you guys to do that. I don't know why we should never did that. We should never did that shit. Because looking back, it's like, why did we ruse them like that and actually got away with it? It's a little stretch, actually a big stretch, not a little stretch, because it's like we kind of took it to the next level. But it was so bad, guys, and it was just like, how did we get away with that for so long? Like, I still to this day ask myself, how did we get away with that? Was our acting that on point? Hollywood, y'all might have to have y'all people call my people, or have my people call your people. Now looking back at it, I wish we would have never did that, but just went to school, continued to just walk in the hot sun, because even though we did do that, we were still walking in the heat, so it's like, what did we really, win from that. We didn't really win anything from that. So it's like, I wouldn't advise anyone to do that, because it's very misleading, and you don't want to mislead like people that you really care about, your family and stuff like that. I feel like maybe if we would have just told them, hey, you know, we don't want to like walk in the hot sun and probably like try to talk something out, that would have been the better route, versus us acting like we're seeing dead people and we're possessed and we're not okay. And I just feel like that's not the way to go about, and you don't know what kind of energies you're inviting in doing that acting stuff. So I really wouldn't advise that, because it's just not the best route to go, you know, because at the end of the day, it's not fair to the people that you love to play that kind of game, to do that kind of stuff. So we do, like, you know, we take our little fault, like, okay, we should never did that, you know, that wasn't right, why did we do that, not cool. But guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed the story time with the woo. If you did, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with another one. Make sure you press that notification bell so you don't miss my notification, because how would you know when the woo posts, when the woo drop? How would you know? You would never know. But all right, guys, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video.
I know when I walked in, all the haters would be looking sideways.